I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 207. And today we're going to talk about the Redeem Team. If you saw the Netflix special documentary about the USA men's basketball team and how they lost the Olympics in 2004, and the USA is known for being winners. They're known for being the best, especially as it relates to basketball. And so, for us to lose the Olympics in 2004 was a major blow. And so, 2008, the Redeem Team, and they had to recalibrate. But the focus that I want to bring here for this episode is not so much the Redeem Team, but I want to talk about you. Have you ever felt like an underdog? Have you ever felt like the one that nobody expects to win? That everyone's already kind of counting you out, and sometimes you even count yourself out because maybe you're used to not winning like you want to, right? Maybe you're used to not playing on a level that you feel that you can, and so my message here today really is that so first off, let me backtrack. So you guys know that I like watching documentaries because I just feel like you can learn a lot from people's failures and successes. Most documentaries though are about people's successes. There are some about failures, but you can learn so much. And just watching the Redeem Team on Netflix, it was pretty cool to see the mentality that they had. And I'm not gonna like give you all the spoilers, but I do want to highlight one point is when the team went to go party and hang out one night, and they all come in at early in the morning, and as they're coming in from partying all night, Kobe is on his way to the weight room at literally 4 or 5 in the morning, and they're kind of like, where are you about to go?" You know what I mean? And that was that was Kobe's mentality always. He was a loner. He was he kind of had a wall up. He kind of had this no, don't mess with me kind of attitude. And but he was all about winning, right? And one thing that I just admire so much is the work ethic, the one that's willing to be the first in the gym room, in the weight room, the first and the last. And that's sometimes what it takes, especially being an underdog. I know because I've felt like an underdog many, many times. And so I feel like sometimes I had to work harder than other people just so that I can um, achieve certain things that I wanted to achieve. Because, one of my mentors, he said it this way. He says, make up in numbers what you lack in skill. And he says, look, if you're special and you can get 9 out of 10, he says, I'll beat you because I can get 10 out of 10. He says, because you talk to 10 people and get nine, he says, I'll talk to 100 people and get 10. And he says, therefore, I beat you. And so I never forgot that philosophy of just having this work ethic. I hear people like Will Smith talk about it. I've heard Michael Jordan talk about it on The Last Dance, and you get to see a little bit of Kobe and his work ethic in this show. And so I think as an underdog, having a work ethic that's above everybody else is especially important. It's really one of the keys to getting a breakthrough. And that means sometimes having to do some unconventional things, having to go the extra mile that other people are not going, just so you can make up again in numbers what you lack in skill. And of course, it all applies in different ways in different professions and different industries and things of that nature. But the philosophy still holds the same. So if you ever feel like you're the underdog, I want you to have a ridiculous work ethic. I want you to have a work ethic that people are like, man, you crazy. Right? Like, and that's kind of how they looked at Kobe. But here's what happened. The next morning, they were all in the weight room. And they all continued to go in the weight room with Kobe because they were like, Nah, nah, we're not gonna let you outwork us." And so I want us to get to that point where we have that work ethic down so that it actually inspires other people. Every episode we talk about stretching ourselves and growing ourselves and becoming better. And I get it. You're busy, you're on the go. You don't always have time to stop and maybe read a book. Well, listen, I got the perfect thing for you. You're probably familiar with Audible. Audible is an audiobook service from Amazon, and they offer the world's biggest selection of books. I'm talking any book that I've recommended, and I've recommended a lot. You can get that book and you can listen to it on the go while you're in the car. Why not turn your car into Drive Time University? And for listening to this podcast, you can get your first 30 days free on us. So go to audibletrial.com/code freedom. That's audibletrial.com/code freedom. And we'll also put that in the show notes. People to because I heard someone say, "You will not outwork me." Oh yeah, Eric Thomas, you will not outwork me. Eric Thomas talks about that a lot. It's a success principle, to be honest with you, and I believe it is another code to freedom is having a ridiculous work ethic. I know I talked about it on many episodes. You can go back and look at some of them in the beginning, especially where I talked a lot about work ethic, but just understanding that 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 one thing, that one fundamental thing of outworking folks, like being the one that's up late and getting up early, and being the one that is just putting in that sweat equity, that time, no matter what industry, no matter what you're doing, and no matter what level of freedom you're looking for. Because as we talk about on this podcast, there are lots of different levels of freedom. You got your mind freedom. How many books are you reading? You got your health freedom. How often are you sweating for 30 minutes and getting some cardio in and at least, getting a little bit of workout in, right? It applies in your relationships. Are you studying your mate? Are you finding ways to show them on a regular basis how much you love them? Not just telling them, but showing them through their love language and through how they receive love, and just doing all you can to be the best, you know, husband, wife, parent, right? Are you gelling with your kids? Every area, it doesn't matter, business, finance, with the money. It's one thing to make the money, it's another thing to know how to build wealth, right? People can make money all day long, but if you make the money and then it's gone out the window, so soon as you get it, and you're not building some equity, you're not building some wealth and some assets, some ownership, then that's a whole nother thing in terms of mastering. There's so many different levels of mastery that we need to strive for. But just understanding that this one philosophy is important. And there's a book you may want to take a look at. It's called The Underdog. I think it's called The Underdog. um, I I have to Google it or something, but just understand that underdog mentality. It's like, look, I gotta prove myself, and sometimes it's not even just proving yourself to other people. Sometimes it's proving yourself to yourself that you can do it, that you will not be the one that's the loser, that you will not be number two, but you will be number one, even if everyone thinks that you won't be number one. And so, you have a chip on your shoulder. You have a little bit of a chip on the shoulder because you are not the one that is expected to win. Just like Joseph in the Bible, Joseph was saying, "Hey, this is the dream that I had, and this is what's going to happen for me." And you know, his brothers wasn't feeling that. And so think about that. You may have some people who just don't see you in that light. They don't see you as the one that's going to be on top. They want to kind of push you down. Even if they don't say it with their words, they show it with how they treat you, how they act towards you, the lack of respect and things of that nature. All those things play a role. And I want you to take all of that and use it as motivation to fuel you, not to push you down, but as fuel to explode into this insane work ethic, this insane level of confidence and strength that's going to take you to the winner's side. And so, look, take a look at that. If you have Netflix, take a look at that show. I love to get your feedback in our Code Freedom Facebook group. I love to have some dialogue with you, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I want to hear from you. And hey, tag me if you listen to this episode on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you follow me. Tag me, and drop me a note, drop me a message, the DM, whatever. Let me know your thoughts on being an underdog, and if you've seen this movie, this show, let me know where you're at with it. So listen, guys, I appreciate you. This is episode 207, and it's been a pleasure to be with you all here on another episode of Code Freedom. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.